What's something everyone sees as normal, but you don't agree with? How people go to college university for a mediocre degree with an awful chance of even ending up in the field of work you want, and be in debt for the majority of their life. I will never understand it, especially in a time where there is so many other ways to make money. Just out of curiosity, do you have a college degree? And what do you do to make money? Not trying to criticize you or anything, I was just wondering what kind of background someone with this opinion would have. Dunno why this is so uncommon outside of Germany or Europe. Basically you can work in manual labor, and if you're at a semi-decent company and don't show up wasted, or well don't show up at all, you'll have a safe job that pays well. One of my friends did leave school after 10 years real the middle way, and in his training 3 years got 1100 month before tax. Number of factors from pressure from your family, having dreams, aspirations that don't match reality, or the belief that somebody has to do the thing, and it may as well be you. The blatant nepotism and networking shortcuts that are a part of every level of private sector work, academia, and the professional environment in general. I interview people now and make the call if we are going to hire them or not. Resumes do not tell experience, or can be very misleading. If it is someone they know and they are good, it makes the hiring season a ton easier. Now if you are hiring people who you are friends with who are blatantly not qualified, that is a big problem. I'm with you on nepotism, but not on networking. I get yeah. Networking isn't inherently bad. In fact, it has some very positive aspects like feeling out personality and social skills prior to consideration. It's a good way to connect with desirable employers or employees. Unfortunately, sometimes it turns into a situation where you can literally only be hired if you personally know someone. It's normal, but I don't care for that aspect of it. How most other left-wing people think that illegal immigration is a good thing. I never understand why they support it. We don't think illegal immigration is a good thing. We just think that putting significant resources into combating it is a waste. Something that everyone these days seems to find normal, that I can't stand, is the constant habit of creating blatant strawmen, and then patting yourself on the back for being oh so much smarter than your imaginary opponent. If your position actually has merit, then you shouldn't be afraid to argue it against the other side's actual opinion. But if instead, all you ever do is make up some absurd BS and attribute it to the other side, so that you can look like the winner by default, it just shows that you have nothing real to say. I don't think it's a good thing. I think they deserve compassion. They're fleeing nightmare lives, the same as you would in the same conditions. Binging TV shows. People seriously tell me I'm bad at watching TV, because I usually get sick of it after a few hours, and need to do something else. I'll come back and watch more the next day and they're already a season or two ahead of me. When did regularly watching entire seasons or series at once become so normal? Since Netflix, I'm in the same boat as you, though I think 1 or 2 episodes a day or so is probably my maximum. For me, it also depends on the length per episode and the general tone of the show. Sometimes I can watch a good sitcom for longer at once, but not a heavy drama. And I really don't understand people who like to binge Accuseries that has 10-hour-long episodes about a serial killer. Some people are more interested in true crime than sitcoms. I personally find sitcoms boring and can binge dramas for longer because I get more engaged. Taxes. If you think about it, tax is theft and slavery. It's money you worked for, and you're being told to hand a large sum over, threatened with the force of a gun. If you don't pay, you're forced by threat of a gun out of your home and into a cage. Willful giving to your community is all that is actually necessary. Taxation also prevents true ownership of land. If you pay a land tax, it's essentially paying rent to the government. I realize it's the best we've got, but it doesn't change what it technically is. We live in an anarchy. The government is just the biggest gang. They're very territorial and have a monopoly on violence, coercion, and extortion. They can give themselves licenses and permission to do anything with your property and fruits of your labor. About half of Americans want to give them even more authority. There's this idea I've seen more and more recently that goes basically like sometimes hitting a pedestrian just can't be avoided. It comes up a lot in response to the idea that if someone hit and killed a pedestrian with a car, then they are to blame. People will say you can't stop in time, or a pedestrian can appear around the corner. To me that idea is terrifying, because it implies that people don't know you should slow down when sight distance is shortened or when stopping conditions have changed. It is literally 100% possible to drive in a way where, barring teleportation, you simply will not ever hit anyone with your car. What if they run out in front of you, or appear right as you crest a hill? You could be going as slow as 30 miles per hour and still can't stop on a dime, working 60 or 70 hours a week, so you can make live in a nicer house, or have a nicer car. A nicer house and car that you only get to spend like 20 hours in a week. Minimalist lifestyle movement, and with some extension the van life movement, are direct results of the general mindset that you just work non-stop for stuff that holds no real value other than making you look acceptable in society. I've recently adopted a minimalist mindset and it's pretty liberating. I have a couch, a bed, a TV, and everything else, except my clothes and laptop phone can be discarded in a heartbeat if I need to. I have a general freedom from my possessions and it's pretty great. It's made me realize I don't need to make 100k a year to be happy. Piercing your baby's ears. Why? Do everyone knows they are a girl? It shouldn't happen. Neither should circumcision. Both happen without consent and just shouldn't happen. Obviously one is more horrific than the other, but enough is enough. I think the reasoning behind piercing as a baby is so that small girls who want ears pierced don't have to deal with cleaning and the work of a new piercing. The parent does all the work. Also, I guess, because if the child chooses to not have earrings at whatever age, the holes will close up. It's reversible. My reasoning is, so people can tell my twins apart. One didn't want to for the reasons you stated above, but I'm so scared of mixing them up that it was all I could think of. Parents beating their kids. If your kids have reasoning skills, reason with them. If they don't understand why you are hitting them. It's illegal here, so I pay a bully to hit them for me. Beating is not considered normal by most people. But, I wonder if you're one of the people who think slapping a kid's wrist is beating abusing them. There's a lot of those on Reddit. I'll tell you that the open-handed slap on my bare leg, which left a welt for a day, my dad gave me when I was 8 for horseplaying with my brother, did nothing but make me fear and resent him. Not slapping a kid's wrist, but beating them with a belt or shoe or something is what I consider beating. I just assumed my parents hated me, being obsessed with brand name instead of quality in products. I agree with things like phones or cars, but with food, mom, did you buy hazelnut spread instead of Nutella again? Udge. iPhones are objectively the same or worse than a much cheaper Android. In terms of hardware, yeah, but some people not me like the look and feel of iOS better. Yep, it's all the same internet out there. Genuinely couldn't agree more. I'm infuriated by those who spend 100s on AirPods just because they were Apple products, only to go on to buy wires to attach so that they'd function like normal, cheaper, non-Bluetooth earphones. SMH. This is for those girls out there but not sleeping in bras. Most of my friends think it's weird that I don't take my bra off when I sleep, but it's so uncomfortable that I can't help myself but think that they're the odd ones. When I was 12 or 13 and went downstairs to hug my grandmother goodnight, she noticed I was still wearing my bra under my nightgown and whispered to me that I should take it off to sleep because it's more comfortable and better. I did, but the next night I just took it off to say goodnight because I decided it wasn't. I only take it off when I shower and change now, not to sleep. That sounds so hot and suffocating though. I know it's not everyone but still a common opinion. So many people say that pink and purple are girls' colors and boys should avoid them at all costs. My son's favorite color just happens to be pink, and I'll fight anyone who says that's not okay. My brother's friend invited him and the rest of our family to a birthday party. He's 9. We all got party favors including Chinese finger traps, and my mom wanted me to switch with my brother because his was pink and he's not gonna want a girl color. I said no, he can man up and take a pink finger trap. Stopped her in her tracks. Thanos is a man and he is purple. Parents sticking a phone or tablet into their kids' hands rather than entertaining them given that they aren't doing anything important. Electronic pacifiers. My wife's boyfriend does that to our kid. Seems like nobody seems to get that you mean handing your child a tablet is like sticking a pacifier in your infant's mouth. My wife keeps a memory card game and deck of cards in our van. When we go out to dinner, we play as a family. My 13-YO and 14-YO have their own phones, but no, they are not allowed at the dinner table. We see far too many kids with tablets around us at diners, that people say you should love your job and follow your passion. Although you shouldn't hate your job is a means to an end. Earn a living, so you can live. Work to live, don't live to work. I make good money in the pharma industry. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. I do it because I'm good at it, and it pays very well. I can provide for my family. Next week, we are going to the Caribbean for my birthday. That's why I work. My career doesn't matter in the sense that it gives me some higher meaning outside of making money. My family is my real treasure. Binge drinking culture here in the UK is ridiculous. It is extremely normal to get near paralytic regularly. I have no friends. I'm very much an outlier in my interests regarding gender, hobbies and interests. Plus I don't like socializing lol. I can't drink most alcohol without breaking out in hives, chest, neck and arm pain with difficulty breathing. No idea why. This really limits any attempt at forming friendships here though. I'm the odd one out consistently because I don't drink milk with cereal. Yup, I'm that kind of guy. I can eat it either way, with or without. I just like the extra coldness flavor that the milk provides. Milk adds some sugar, and when it all seeps out of the cereal into the milk, it's the most delicious thing ever. I thought I was the only one too. Can I interest you in our finest bowl of cereal soup, made with a fine turkey broth and frosted flakes? That jeans must be pampered and gorded like a silk dress. It always weirds me out when someone gets defenses about a pair of pants designed for wear and tear. Because for me, I can never find affordable, comfortable, and cute jeans. And the sizing is crazy, so there's no guarantee when I go to rebuy that they'll be as good as my old pair. I love that they last a long time, but I don't want to risk stains or rips.